Andrey Rublev is known around the tennis world as one of the most passionate, fiery, and emotional players of his generation. His raw power from the baseline and relentless determination have carried him to the top of the rankings, making him one of the most dangerous opponents on any surface. But alongside that incredible talent lies a darker side, an uncontrollable rage that has exploded on court time and time again. These outbursts have shocked fans, frightened umpires, and left many wondering if his temper might one day derail his entire career. For Rublev, tennis is not just a sport. It is a battlefield. Every point feels like life or death, every error like a stab to the heart. He doesn't hide his emotions, he lives them, violently, loudly, and often destructively. Fans have seen him pound his racket against the ground until it shatters, scream at himself until his voice cracks, and in one infamous moment, nearly cross a line that could have banned him from the game altogether. His temper has been there since his teenage years. Even as a junior, coaches and players noticed that Rublev's biggest enemy wasn't always across the net, it was inside him. The frustration at a missed shot, the fury at an unlucky bounce, the uncontrollable urge to punish himself for not being perfect. As he grew older and climbed the ATP ranks, the spotlight only magnified those emotions. Suddenly the entire world was watching as Andrey Rublev struggled not just against rivals like Daniil Medvedev or Novak Djokovic, but against his own demons. One of the earliest meltdowns that drew global attention came at the 2020 French Open. Rublev, frustrated by errors and overwhelmed by the occasion, took out his anger on his racket again and again, smashing it into the clay until it splintered. The crowd gasped, commentators shook their heads, and social media exploded with clips of the meltdown. For some, it was a sign of passion. For others, it was a dangerous lack of control, but the most shocking outburst came in Dubai in 2024, and it nearly destroyed his career. In the semi-final match, Rublev disagreed furiously with a line call that he believed cost him a crucial point. What happened next stunned the tennis world. Red-faced, veins bulging, Rublev stormed toward the line judge and screamed just inches from his face. His words were so aggressive, so filled with rage, that officials stepped in immediately. Within moments, Rublev was defaulted, thrown out of the tournament despite being so close to victory. The images went viral instantly. Rublev's face twisted in fury, the line judge shaken, the umpire helpless to calm the storm. The ATP released a statement, fans debated endlessly, and Rublev himself later admitted he had lost control completely. That one incident became the defining symbol of his fiery temper, a moment that shook tennis, as many headlines put it, and yet, that was not the only time Rublev's rage made the spotlight. At the ATP Finals in Turin, cameras caught him screaming into his towel so violently that security guards turned their heads. He has punched his racket strings until his knuckles bled. He has shouted at ball kids and even at himself so ferociously that the crowd fell silent. In Monte Carlo, after losing a point, he destroyed his racket in front of fans who looked stunned as graphite fragments scattered across the clay. What makes Rublev's outbursts so unforgettable is not just their violence, but their rawness. Unlike other players who argue with umpires or opponents, Rublev's fury is almost always directed inward. He screams at himself, punishes his own body, berates his own effort. It is as if he is trapped in a war with himself, and the court becomes the battlefield, but there is a tragic beauty in it too. Because behind that anger is a man who cares more than anything, who cannot accept mediocrity, who feels the pain of failure so deeply that his body cannot contain it. Fans see him as both frightening and heartbreakingly human. Tennis history is filled with fiery players. John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, Marat Safin, they all let their emotions spill over. But with Rublev, it feels different. His explosions are not about showmanship or crowd drama. They are about inner torment, the pain of a perfectionist who cannot forgive himself for being less than flawless. That is why his meltdowns hit so hard. They don't just shock, they reveal his soul. Still, the consequences are real. After Dubai 2024, many wondered if Rublev would face a lengthy suspension. The ATP eventually fined him, and he apologized publicly, but the shadow of that moment still lingers. Sponsors questioned his image, critics claimed he lacked the mental strength to win a Grand Slam, and fans debated whether his temper was passion or poison, and yet, what makes Rublev so fascinating is that his story is not finished. Despite his outbursts, he continues to climb the rankings, continues to fight, continues to dream of lifting the biggest trophies. His anger has not destroyed him yet. In fact, some believe it fuels him. When he is angry, his shots become heavier, his energy more ferocious, his game more unstoppable. It is a double-edged sword, one that could either cut down his opponents or cut him down instead. There are also moments of redemption. After his most violent meltdowns, Rublev has often been seen crying quietly, apologizing to fans, thanking ball kids, even hugging opponents. Those small gestures remind the world that beneath the fury is a gentle, kind-hearted man who struggles with emotions he cannot always control. It is this duality, the angel and the demon, the warrior and the child, that makes him so captivating. Every time Rublev steps on court, there is a sense of unpredictability. Will this be the day he unleashes another explosion that goes viral around the world? Or will this be the day he finds the balance, the calm, the focus to channel all that fire into glory? Fans watch not just for the tennis, but for the drama, the emotion, the spectacle of a man battling both his rivals and himself. The truth is, Andrey Rublev's angriest moments will always be part of his legacy. The broken rackets, the screaming fits, the shocking disqualification in Dubai, they cannot be erased. They will be replayed in highlight reels, discussed by commentators, and remembered by fans. But they do not tell the whole story. Because alongside the rage is talent, resilience, and a relentless desire to improve. If one day Rublev conquers his temper and wins a Grand Slam, his story will be one of redemption, the man who turned fury into triumph. But if he fails, if his anger continues to consume him at the worst possible times, then his legacy may forever be tied to those explosive outbursts that shook tennis. Either way, he will never be forgotten. Because when Andrey Rublev loses control, the world watches. The stadium holds its breath. Social media explodes. And tennis is reminded that beneath the calm exterior of the sport lies something primal, something emotional, something deeply human. Andrey Rublev is not just a player. He is a storm. And when that storm breaks, the tennis world shakes.